Heyo, welcome back everybody, this is EonShiKeno, back with some more StarCraft 2 commentaries. This is going to be a match from BWC Battle.net World Championships they just had. They thankfully released all the replays, so I'll have a lot of games to commentate in the future. And let me introduce our players. Up here on Cloud Kingdom, on the top right side of the map, we're going to have our blue Zerg player. It's going to be Gamina Sin from Clan Gamma Bears. Which I just want them to change the name of their team to Gummy Bears. I don't know why. That would be too funny. Okay. So Sin, this guy's a solid Zerg player. He's like the best Zerg to come out of Taiwan pretty much ever. Awesome Zerg player. Top notch. He hasn't been in too many international tournaments lately. He's kind of just hanging out in Taiwan and dominating that quietly. Being very, very successful there. So, yeah, Sin, awesome Zerg player. And his opponent. The bottom left part of the map. The red Protoss player, the man, chrono boosting out his workers. It's going to be Grubby from Team Grubby. He's on team by himself. This guy, I mean, everybody knows who Grubby is by now this point, probably. If you don't, well, he's like a Warcraft 3 legend. I was watching this guy play, you know, Orc, dominate with Blade Master and whatnot back when I was in college. And he's a great player to watch, really cool guy. So, yeah, I mean, one thing I love about Grubby, especially in his late game PvZ play, is he really loves to Warp Prism harass, and it really lets him put his micro to use that he's kind of developed over the years in Warcraft 3. So hopefully this game we'll see some late game Warp Prism harass from Grubby. Something I've managed to kind of add into my own personal PvZ game. Just love doing Warp Prism harass, drop and kill like a, you know, finished Greater Spire. It's like, oh yeah, you know the Zerg is just so pissed when that happens. So Grubby down here, bottom left part of the map, gonna go for, he's got the Forge down, he's got his front wall off, and he's got a Nexus. Now he went for the Pylon and Forge in his base, which is the little bit more conservative route to go. You do that if you're worried your opponent's gonna like 6 pull, 7 pull. That way you won't lose your Forge, you won't lose your Pylon. If they decide to rush you, you can just throw up a cannon in your base and be perfectly fine, and then they're kind of just screwed at that point. They're not screwed, but they're definitely not better off. So Sin already sees that Nexus going down, and he's going to go ahead and throw up a third, so he's going to have his macro going this game. Sin, definitely a player who loves to macro up quite a bit. And Grubby's like one of those players who just doesn't really cheese that much. And if Sin's aware of Grubby's playstyle at all, you know, that's a safe bet to go for this quick third. You know, kind of makes sense there, especially if you see that Nexus. So, not sure if he considered that, you know, but I've like Grubby doing, especially versus Zerg. I mean, it's just, he plays really late game and solid. So, late game and solid. So, wouldn't really. I would be a little bit greedy if I was playing against Grubby. I would be a little bit greedy if I was a Zerg guy. So, Queen popping out here for Sin. Already working on those injects. The other Queen already down here. Zerglings will not be able to get in there. They're already 3 already out. That probe managed to survive. And Grubby choosing to go with the wall opening down here in the bottom. Now, I've seen so many different variations of this wall off here at the Natural on Cloud Kingdom. So many different variations. And I'm not really sure which one I prefer the most. And it seems like, you know, players themselves really haven't come to a consensus. I can't say consensus. There we go. Actually worked for the census, the last census, and yeah, I should know how to say that properly. It was a little part-time job. Whenever I got out of college, I didn't have a job yet, and I was doing census taking. So yeah, it's a little known fact that guys never knew about me. I walked around to people's houses and asked them to fill out questionnaires, and it was very interesting. You got to learn the new territory. It's right after I moved, so I got to learn the territory very well. And it was interesting just knocking on people's doors and being like, "Hey, tell me personal things about you," sort of, you know. So you got all kinds of crazy people and normal people too. One thing I realized doing that is there are crazy rich people and crazy poor people. Crazy is not care how much money you have. That's for sure. So yeah, interesting job. Probably the most weird job I've had. It wasn't that long, but it was definitely interesting. That's for sure. So Stargate play coming out of Grubby here, and he's actually going to hide them as opposed to pop on out and start, you know, getting in business, which is kind of what you normally do as a Protoss player. You're going to try to surprise your opponents. Look like surprise Phoenixes, and then go in there and snipe some queens usually, and also do some scouting. Gas, yeah, he's got 2 gas already here at his extractors. Those have just gotten up recently. Roach Warren coming up about 7-minute 30-second mark, so feeling pretty confident in that. +1 being researched for Grubby as well. Okay. And not, yeah, for Grubby. Phoenixes, he's probably going to go with 4. Seems what it's going to be. Chrono boosting that out. I haven't seen either player get supply block so far this game, so that's a nice, safe, nice, good macro for both players coming out. Now we got a robotics facility coming down for Grubby. So he's definitely looking at you know, making an observer, getting some immortals out, maybe transition to Colossus. Double evolution chamber finished for Sin. He's got the Zergling upgrades coming out, so we're probably going to see, you know, Zergling Infestor combination for our Mr. Sin here from a team at Gummy Bears. The Phoenixes have been scouted out by the Overlord, so they will be able to take out that Overlord. Some Zerglings will do some poking. Speed isn't done yet, but it's on the way. There really isn't that much he can do with these Zerglings. He has quite a few, but he really is going to be able to break that wall with the sentries there. This queen will fall. There is a Spore Crawler being built, and quickly he's going to go over there with that queen to that Spore Crawler. And he might be able to snipe this before that gets done. Is he going to go for it? Oh, he's just going to go for the gas. Take it. Playing it safe. That's not really surprised about that. That's kind of Grubby style. Doesn't really do anything too super risky. Oh no, is this going to lose that Phoenix? No, he doesn't. He doesn't lose the Phoenix. What are you talking about? So the scout comes in here. He sees the Roach Warren. He's going to grab himself another Overlord kill. He's got quite a few kills so far. Look at that resource lost. Nothing versus 950. So being very cost effective here with these Phoenixes. Doesn't want to lose that Phoenix. Nice micro to back. Oh no, he lost his first Phoenix. Zerglings are being piled up over here. Sin getting quite the number of Zerglings. Those are in kind of counterattack position. He comes up. Oh no! He's going to lose another Phoenix. Ah, loses another Phoenix. Immortals coming out now for Grubby. He's going to research Blinks. So we're going to have Immortals, Blink. And that's just a pretty good composition if you're going to go take your third. It works really well versus, you know, Roaches. And you're definitely going to need Blink Stalkers. But we have a nice round here by Sin. Force fields need to be very good to keep these sentries alive. Is he going to lose any sentries? I don't know if he lost one or... he probably lost a sentry there. I'm not sure if he had 5 or 4 there, but probably lost at least 1 sentry in that situation. So, fortunately, Grubby kind of getting caught there by the small number of Zerglings. Definitely a good trade for Sin. Some more Zerglings streaming out across the map. Grubby's going to easily manage to get this Nexus up. Sin really isn't applying too much pressure to this Nexus. He doesn't really plan on getting it canceled. He's maybe just trying to hope to pick off another sentry. That's all really you can expect to accomplish with that few Zerglings against that big of an army that late game. And, of course, he's going to take his 4th, so smart move there from Sin. He knows he has map control. He scouted out his opponent's army. If Grubby even decides to attack with his army, he can build an army and, you know, lickety-split. Sorry, I had production tab off. He can build that lickety-split and no problem and just completely counter that. So not too worried about that. Here we have the Infestors coming up. So, yep, Zergling Infestor, a lot of Zergling upgrades coming out. Lair is done. Now, hasn't yet started his hive. Maybe he's waiting on the gas. Maybe he's just going to build a couple more Infestors. Get that Infestor count just a little bit higher. We'll see what he's eventually going to settle at. You know, that's kind of the new flavor of the month. Maybe 2 months now. It's like Zerg's just making an insane number of Infestors versus Protoss players versus Zerg players versus Terran players. And Sin seems to be going down that route as well. Worker count 79 versus 64, so Sin really wanting to, you know, max out on those 4 bases, just have a huge macro army, macro capabilities here. And all those Infestors so could have snagged those Phoenixes, but fortunately he wasn't paying attention. Fortunately for Grubby, he was not paying attention. Nice wall off here from Grubby. I like this wall off. But unfortunately, this does kind of limit your potential ability to defend this base, because you can just have a bunch of Infestors come here, throw a bunch of infested Terran down here in this position, have some Zerglings or crap get in the way, just take out this Nexus, and that is kind of the downside of building a wall off like this. But, you know, if you can't get the Colossus out, you can kind of get the Colossus in here, and that works in their favor. But for the Sentries and Zealots, it's really not that good for them. And look at this Grubby going for a 4th base already. Is this going to get scouted out by Sin here? No, he's not. So maybe going to delay it just for a little bit. Maybe he's going to take that whenever he pushes out. So let's check the production for Grubby. He's going to make Templar Archives. Still getting those plus attack upgrades. A lot of more warp gates coming out. And he's going to pick himself off a queen here. Probably not. He's got enough for a transfuse, and there's only 3 phoenixes there. I like how he kept those phoenixes separated. That's going to force the Zerg player to use many more fungals. You don't want to have your phoenixes grouped up versus any type of area of effect spell. So he did not see the phoenix, or sorry, he did not see that pile. Oh, right, now I saw it. I think he just saw it. Yep, he saw it. He's going to send a Zergling over there to tackle that. And Grubby's slowly walking these pylons up the map, but look at that Sin and scouted it out again. Look at that. Nice play there from Sin. Even another one. Oh, that's Grubby's vision. Of course, he can see his own pylons. He did not see this one there. Okay, and he hasn't seen this one appear. So Grubby definitely going to push up this left side of the map, I imagine, with this army. He's really going to have to take this position. This is going to be hard. If he goes up in this way, that's going to have to be extremely sneaky, and that could be just a death trap if those infestors get over there. I like how Sin is pushing himself up on this high ground, forcing the Protoss player to engage him down here instead of getting losing this high ground position and then getting attacked from the high ground here into his 4th. So the position there is pretty good for Sin. Let's see what he's going to do. If he's going to fall back to those spine crawlers or engage him here at the front. No. Okay, never mind. He's just going to give Grubby it. And look at the supply lead from Grubby here. 182 versus 174. Look at that army supply. Look at Grubby. Nice. There we go. We really have Sin saving up a supply for those Broodlords. And Grubby if Grubby could have attacked right there, he would have done extremely well just because there's no Broodlords on the map. +3 is close to being done. Grubby is going to make his way into the natural, but that's going to be a rough attack to make. He's just going to have to... Yeah, you definitely can't go up there. That's just bad. Oh, I love this. Picked up the Infestors, but I don't know if he was doing that on purpose or if he wanted to kill them or if he just is delaying them for this attack. But this is an interesting position here. Grubby going straight for this 4th, and he's already throwing down preemptive force fields to take up this base, and Sin is going to have to make a decision here. Go for it, defend this base, or go for a counterattack. It seems like it's going to be a counterattack. But I don't know how well he's going to be able to deal with that. Great positioning here by Grubby. Kind of fakes his way to the natural, then goes around the spine crawlers to take out the 4th base. Slick positioning there by Grubby. Now we have Sin at the 3rd, dealing tons and tons of damage. Look at this Broodlords versus the Colossus versus the infested Terran Zealots up here in the front. This is where the big fight is. This is where the action is so far in this position. And now Grubby's going to be forced to retreat. There's too many Broodlords and infested Terran down there. Back down here at the natural. Sin did manage to take out that 3rd base. Grubby is rebuilding another one. And we're going to see Grubby fall back. He has to get some more Stalkers to deal with those Broodlords. And so Sin made a trade there, his 4th base for the 3rd base of Grubby's. I think Sin came out ahead there. He bought himself some time. He took out the 4th. Sure, he lost his, he took out the 3rd and he took out the 4th. But he bought himself some time, got the Broodlords out, and now Sin can just kind of defend that 4th base once again with those Broodlords. And Grubby is in a position where he needs to have more AA. He needs more Stalkers. He needs more Archons to deal with those Broodlords. Sin being so proactive about moving these spine crawlers in forward positions, I really like that. This base over here on the right is probably going to fall. It depends on if he can get over there before the Broodlords show up, or if he just kind of rolls in there and steamrolls it. But he's going to go for it anyway. Here goes Grubby. Force field to go down. A couple Infestor Terran come out, but those Infestors do not have much energy. And the Stalkers blink forward, get a couple pot shots on those Broodlords. Not going to work out, though, unfortunately. Grubby's going to take out the most of these spine crawlers, but the Roaches show up in time. Reinforcements have arrived. Stalkers blink forward. Nice positioning there. Going to get one Broodlord off. The second one is going to fall. Yeah. Nope, not going to get it. And Grubby's going to be forced to retreat. Now these Colossus are going to be on the run versus the Corrupt. There's only 3 of them out. And Grubby really needs to get some more Stalkers out, but he's making a fleet beacon. He wants to definitely get up to that mothership eventually. Stalkers are out. There's quite a few Roaches here. There's 2 Immortals out, dealing a bunch of damage. 12 kills on that guy. The other one is just now dead. And I think at this point, Sin has just too many forces. 159 supply versus 93. And Sin, I think, just took the game here. Grubby's production has kind of fallen off. He's on essentially 1 mining base at this point. His main, he's got 1 mining patch. Just now transferred those guys over there. That loss of income there really hurt him. And the whole time, Sin's been gladly mining on 2 bases, this base and this base. These are still full mining patches, so. This is Grubby trying to do some, warp ins here with this pylon up at the front, but, Sin can easily deal with this. Just a couple Roaches. Doing these kind of risky moves works out if it's more or less an even game, or if your opponent really can't micro as well or can't split his army up as much. Those can really get you back in the game, but Sin, I think, is just too strong of a player to let something like that take him down this late in the game with such a big advantage. Grubby going for a smart blink there. Going to pick off an Infestor. But I think that's going to be the it here. I mean, maybe he loses his base, but Sin still has 2 other bases up in the top left part of the map. This will be a minor victory for Grubby, but Sin just has so many forces at this point. Look at that. Look at the production tab. That just tells you right now what's going on in this game. Someone has a bunch of money. Someone has got not much money at all. He can make 2 Zealots, and that's about it. The Roaches are going to move into position. They'll be able to sneak up. Nice force fields. Keep the Colossus alive for a little bit. They need to get up to the top of the ramp. Run up the ramp, Colossus. You can do it. The Colossus walk up there, and they're like, what's the matter, Immortal? What's the problem? Oh, wow, that Immortal's still alive. 28 kills. How did you survive, buddy? Alright, he's dead. He didn't survive that long. And now the Colossus is going to low ground. This feels like one of those challenges that they added in that newest challenge map that Blizzard implemented, where the Colossus has to micro against 50 Zerglings and you just go up and down like a little cliff. I think Grubby played that, and I bet he did pretty well in that challenge. But now the Corruptors here, the Broodlords, their Roaches are in position, the Zerglings are chasing it down, and Grubby's last little bit of forces are falling. He's just trying to keep this alive. Reinforcements show up for both players, but Sin just has way too many forces. Triple the supply now of Sin over Grubby. Grubby did manage to get this 3rd base back up. That's kind of what he's been buying time for, but this force of Sin can just walk in and kill all of that, no problem. Grubby's got decent upgrades this game. Gotta give him that 2 armor, 3 attack upgrade, but Sin has got 2 armor, 3 attack upgrade also. There goes the final base for Grubby. That's essentially letting a mine. Archon gets trapped, and Grubby doesn't want to give this up. This is for essentially BattleNet World Championships. This is one of the largest tournaments across the whole world. It'd be super prestigious to win this. Grubby fighting to the very last, even hope of surviving this, but I think it's written in the clouds, in Cloud Kingdom. Sin is going to take this. Grubby did manage to take the base out in the top left, though. But there's too many spine crawlers. Look at all those spine crawlers. Yep, those guys are dead. The Broodlords are in position now. Grubby's trying to make as many stalkers as he can. But those guys are just so low. Even the Zergling Roach Force will take it. There's the GG. Grubby gives up. Sin takes this game on Cloud Kingdom. So, well, I mean, Grubby went for a timing there. I liked his positioning to move his, Colossus to the natural and then come into the 4th base. I like that, but because the Broodlords were so close to finishing, I think he would have done better if he just would have went straight into it, hit those spine crawlers, take them out, and go directly into the 3rd. He really needed to kill both of those bases to have any hope of being in this game. If he would have traded those 2 bases for his 3rd, and then Sin gets Broodlords, I think he could have managed that. But because he only got 1 base, and he traded his base for it, it really didn't work out for him. So, unfortunately, gotta love Grubby, but he didn't win this game. It goes to Sin. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. This is my last commentary before Thanksgiving. I'm going to be going home to see the family. So I won't be back until Monday night, so maybe I'll have a new commentary out about probably Wednesday. So, hope you guys enjoy holidays wherever you're at in the world, and see you later.